welcome to our first vehicle of the United States Squadron lineup. This is the M901 missile carrier, or the Wall-E in pop culture. It is a rather interesting, rather unique vehicle. There's another one right here. I've got the camera though because I am personally an enjoyer of this vehicle. They actually recently gave it a machine gun, which is a bit heretical, but you know, I'll always take the extra gun. And you know, this thing is the lowest VR squadron vehicle for the United States, and it's a fairly low VR for squadron vehicles in general, especially when you consider that squadron vehicles all cost the exact same amount of research points. They are very different though in the amount of silver that you need to get them. So I would definitely recommend just going for the highest one first. You know, because you don't really want to take a low tier squadron vehicle, then why the heck would you pick a squadron vehicle and not just the normal tech tree? That seems like it could be a very bad idea. I'm gonna have a little bit of a look-see. He did not. Oh, he killed our gun. Kind of a bad shot on his part. Killed our gun. Yeah, this is one of the larger strengths of this vehicle, is that your gun is very, very separate from the rest of your vehicle. As you guys just saw, I took a massive hit. Top-down shot. I took a massive hit. An absolutely smashing blow to the gun. And the entirety of my crew was fine. It's like they didn't even notice. Where's the mouse? Pop. It's getting a little stressful now that I'm the front line instead of the middle or back, because you know, being the front is definitely where you get shot. Hoping I see the mouse first and not the opposite way around, because that normally goes pretty bad. Good hit on that guy. Not killed his gunner, so I'm not going to stay there. And we're going to reload. I think this is a good time to place our ammo box down that I can use a little bit. Put that out there really clear. He's done. I don't know why they're not holding their angles, but they can do whatever they want, I guess. As long as they get the kills. There's the guy right here. Yeah. He's taking some good shots. I don't think he wants to move though. You know, IS-4M, that is a very solid trade. Alright, boys. So, the M901, I do really appreciate this one. My first above 4.0 vehicle, I believe I got the M901 when I reached about 5.0 in the actual tech tree. And it was a big thing for me. I saved up a ton of silver to buy it, and you know, it had missiles, it had like thermals, it had smokes, it had like really good zoom in. I really loved it, and so that's a little bit of nostalgia on my part. Just take that into account. I won't say as many bad things about this as readily, because obviously I really like it for what it is. Now, I will still try and be honest, so don't be like, he's not going to give me a good point of view, but yes, I do like this vehicle. Just to start off, I like the aesthetic. Hi, mouse. I will take your entire hull. Too nice. Two back. What's this guy gonna do? I didn't think so. Or take this time to reload.
Mobility kill.
While this tank is pretty situational, like, we are pretty much just a hard counter bastion. Like, freaking, yeah, show yourself to me. I bet. And he's dead. Wow. Oh, and finally, a Russian squadron vehicle fires high explosive. Alright guys, so after playing the M901 for a bit, I'm going to rank it. And we have a rank right here. S, A, B, C, D, and F. Pretty much all the letters. S being the greatest, and F being the worst. Not all tiers will be used, and some tiers can be shared. So we're going to have the M901. I honestly think that this is probably going to be A tier. The KD I managed to get on the M901, even though it's very situational, I showed you clips from every battle I took. And I got at least 2 kills in all of those battles, which, you know, is pretty incredible. So while it does have a situationship with the game, you can definitely get that situation to work for you in all cases. So it's going to go straight to A tier. This is our next squadron vehicle, and it is the A4E Early. This thing is honestly probably my favorite squadron vehicle of the US, and that is because of these bad boys on the bottom, the bullpups. These are manual guided missiles with an 8-kilometer range that pretty much just act as bombs when they hit the floor, which, as you guys might imagine, is kind of insane. So let's see. I need to find a guy first. This could be any kind of guy. He needs to be alive though. That is kind of a downside of these. The guy you kill has to be alive. Unfortunately, I think that's pretty universal. I need to train my eyes to look on the screen. Oh, I see a guy. Rocket out. He's way in the range that we need. And he's done. Now we can pull away. Shaft flare a little bit. Up way down, look behind us, see what's up. Yeah, the TAM just gone. And we are scot-free away with 4 extra chances at more. Oh. There's another guy. And he's done. We're going to chaff and flare a little bit. As you guys can see up there, we have 16 of each left. Firing one of each at a time so that, you know... Oak tree. Oh, I see a guy. You know, they keep moving. Oh, I missed one. And not the second one, boys. We need to get down before someone takes our wing off. Enemy nuke, I believe. Yep, enemy nuke. I could go try and intercept. Yeah, this guy right here, you know, he's had the skill to kind of get there. You know, he doesn't exist anymore. And boom, right there, that's 3 kills, that's 3 frags. Not to spoil anything for later in the list, but the A4E Early is incredibly strong. I'm not gonna lie, this beats the M901 by a whole nother category. I think this goes into the S tier, which is pretty interesting because that leaves our highest tier vehicles. You know, there's a bit of a trend here. I wonder how this one's gonna work, guys. By the way, this is the Nighthawk. It's a 10.0 bomber, and it carries 2 guided munitions, which are laser guided, of course. Hopefully this guy doesn't immediately spawn an AA slap my cheeks, but he could. Hey, all this tree rendered in right now. Yeah. And that thing is way off again. I'm immediately gonna try and bomb 279. I'm an insane guy like that. But that's it.
Allied forces have captured a zone. Leaking reports, enemy spotted. Leaking reports, enemy spotted.
Please connect, bro. Where are you going? Please, please, please. Please, 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 please. Yeah, 279. Get cooked. Where's our missile going? And that's a missile for us. Alright. So that's the F117. I'd say it's very, very good at this PR. It really doesn't get shot down unless you're facing the wrong direction. And, you know, besides maps with clouds, this thing pretty much is a guaranteed killer. It's just going to take 1 kill easy, and probably 2, because you can dodge a missile with its stealth if you just time everything correctly. But it does not have the capability of the A4E early, does not have the 5 missile, it only gets 2. And with the added defense that the F117 does get, I don't think it justifies the 0.7 BR above. It's definitely not as good. I'd rather have the A4E early at 10.0 than the F117 at 9.3 even. So the F117 is going to have to go into a C tier, I'm not going to lie. That's very unfortunate. Well, this is our next up, the Abrams M1A1 AIM, better known. Or, I guess, the Freebrums in pop culture. It has a very good shell, and it's pretty much just a top-tier Abrams. If you thought of the Abrams, this is exactly the tank you were thinking of. You know, the nice, good, really thick turret armor, the solid 120mm gun, the just status of the MBT. You know, it is exactly just stock definition. Beautiful top-tier tank. Now, there are a couple issues with it. Thermals aren't quite as nice as I want them to be, and I just completely effed that up. Holy smokes. Yep, Dama. Don't push an angle I'm watching. Abrams has a really good firing rate as well. Uh-oh. Like, this Abrams has a reload rate of, I think, 5 seconds with max crew. 5 seconds is incredibly good, especially since these shells are all hand-loaded. It's not some fancy autoloader. It's all done by hand. And in warthunder, this isn't reflected very well, but they had to give the Abrams something, especially after they kind of threw it into the ground. That is nice. Oh, where's our own turret drive? He's cooked. Right to the back, and he's done. Nice. As you guys can see, we're having a fairly decent time. You know, just watching the center point, letting enemies drive onto it, kind of playing the top 2 experience. We're already way over my KD with the M1A1 AIM.
Attention to the map. Attention to the map.
Tis the M1A1 AIM, or the Freebrums. This thing is actually kind of a beast. You got a 50 cal and a 7.62 on top for removing those pesky AA and other light vehicles. And you get a 120mm main armament for eliminating those pesky MBTs that you might come against. It works pretty much against anything except for a really, really strong Russian MBT, in which case you might need to hit a weak point or two. Bomb. He gave us a bit of a side. I believe it was a light tank though, so still looking for that T80. Oh, not a light tank, Leopard 284M. Oh, ow. Barely missed my breach there, sir. Oh, and there we go, he's hit my breach. That is bad. All of the upper front plate, which is fairly is fairly strong, except for that diving board, which will catch any shell that's going to flung at you, and immediately be directed straight to the driver's head, and the rest of your crew in succession. This bush needs to go. Go assist, good one. He stuck me on the corner, but I got him. Getting flashbanged right now though, light tanks. My ears are definitely on the game, so that's good. And honestly, it's just a solid MBT. This is just a straight up Abrams. Top tier Abrams pretty much. Turret cheeks are really powerful, but the hull is kind of mid. Your movement is pretty solid. Your gun is 120 millimeters. You've got blowout panels. You got everything. You got the works. Probably the only real issue is the size of your weak points. So I'm gonna put this into B tier. You know, my KD normally does pretty well in this vehicle, unless I'm like really bad at the game that day, which of course, you know. But I'll normally do better than 2 kills, and it's less situational than the F117 in the fact that weather doesn't just cook you. This version of the Apache is a squadron vehicle, and while it is pretty much top tier, I believe 11.7, 11.3, it does not get any kind of countermeasures, and pretty much the only good thing about it is the fact that it controls very, very well, and the 16 Hellfires. Otherwise, if someone sends anything your way, you are going to die. You can shoot a missile because of the control, but like right now I have a tracker on me, like nothing anything close to advance here. I am cooked, dead to rights. With the helicopter spawning a little bit closer to the battlefield, good for us. Let's stabilize and fire. And we're gonna miss a couple of us. That's really, really good. No, that's not good at all, boys. We survived the first hit. This guy. This guy. This guy. This guy. He knows he's gonna take us. Got him. Panther down. Oh, how is this insta-shot us? Oh, that's a gun anti-air. Never saw that one coming. Oh. Yeah. Unfortunate.
The enemy has most of the
11,
strategic zone.
10, 9, 8, 7, and here. 4. Panzer. Alright, so our last category, the YA-64, unfortunately, is gonna have to go into the F tier. This is just so sad for me because while it does have 16 Hellfires, which is massive potential, the fact that it gets no countermeasures and it's a helicopter is really, really difficult. While you guys may have watched me dodge that Pantsir and get him with the kill, we immediately died to a 2S38, which means this thing just faces some stuff that it really can't do anything against. They have more than one anti-air out. You are pretty cooked because while you can dodge a missile, the guns you're really not going to be able to do anything against. And you are a helicopter. Helicopters are, especially ones where you have to keep your visual on the guy you're killing, is really difficult to do because all anti-airs fire missiles that go way faster than your Hellfire. And 3/4 of the time, they're just going to shoot you down, and your Hellfire's not even going to connect. And you have 16 of them, but it doesn't matter because you fire one and you just die. So it's going to have to be F tier. I'm sorry, guys. Oh. Good shot on the Chieftain. Gunner FCS. I can fire through your roof now. Good shot, good shot. Dead. Nice, nice. Straight up. Yep, stay. Alright, boys, so this is the end of the video. This is the tier list. I would definitely go from the S to the F tier of research if you're going to get those vehicles. Honestly, I would just save your time. Just go for the A4E early, the M901 and the M1A1 AIM. For the last two, honestly, you can just research the helicopter tree on the US, buy the original one, go into single player, and just do your research. The F117 just completely skip. It was a failed experiment, honestly. It wasn't. I just wanted to see whether it would work, and it didn't. So they haven't done anything like it recently. And I don't know, foreseeable future, they might do something with stealth a little bit different. Maybe even rework the F117. But for now, it is just completely useless in an air battle, and pretty close to useless in a ground battle. Although I will link a video in the description where I use the F117 fairly well. I got pretty lucky with the weather, pretty lucky with the cloud formation, and didn't get absolutely screwed over by my laser guidance system in that time. Whereas I think in the recent, they might have done a quiet nerf on laser guidance systems or the guided bombs. That might have cooked my spirits a little bit, but this is where I rate it in the actual. So yeah, I hope my tier list does help you guys. And if you disagree, agree with anything, please put it in the comments so that other people can read your comments and figure out whether they want to continue to trust me or whether my opinion is utter crap and they go with yours. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will see you on the flip side. Peace out.